Morning, besties. Happy Monday. First Monday of the new year. Turns out Georgia was only joking when she said she wanted to do the 24 on 24. I was like, do you want to do this? Because I kind of have to get it ready. And she goes, I was only joking. And I was like, it didn't sound like a joke, Georgia. Just letting you know. It didn't sound that way. Good morning. How's everybody? Good morning, Crystal. I got a couple of peeps telling me that they didn't get a notification. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. And I apologize. It is very rare that I go live on a Sunday. It's never happens. But if you followed or you were there or if you've seen since, obviously I wanted to kind of inspire people to go and vote in an online poll that ended up turning out to be shit anyway at the end. So I'm so mad about that. So I had a really great suggestion from a bestie, and the suggestion is to do a Sunday live stream whenever I cook, just like the one I did yesterday, but make that the members only content for the week. Going once, going twice, sold to the besties. I will do exactly that. So next Sunday, we'll just make that private. Now, I had this conversation with Jeff already because a bestie sent it to me. And I was like, this is a really great idea. Very great idea. Thank you. And I said, how do you feel about me doing a live on Sundays? Is my door open? It feels very, like I can feel like I can hear the cars going by, but my windows are definitely closed. And I asked him how he felt about it. And he's like, listen, you're really in the kitchen by yourself lately. I mean, honestly, a year ago, everything was different. You know what I mean? Like, Jack didn't have college, Georgia didn't have a boyfriend, and Julia didn't have a house. And so the children were around me much more than they are right now. And I'm not taking away from any family time if I do it. I am taking away from my personal time of being in the kitchen. But fun fact, I did exactly what I would normally do. No different. I didn't put on makeup. I didn't do my hair. I looked like, I normally would look in the kitchen. Was Jeff hanging around me a little bit more? That may be the only downside because Jeffrey was in the kitchen a little bit more. But listen, I feel like if that's what the besties want, I'd be happy to give it to them. I also feel the only other downside is it possible something bad could happen to me if I am streaming 7 days a week? Like, to happen to my soul. You know what I mean? And Georgia said, will you make money off of it? And I said, yes, I get ad revenue no matter what day. And she's like, then who cares? She's like, that's for us. And I was like, okay. So I think we'll do that for now. We'll just see how it goes. We'll try it. Everybody seemed to like it. And I don't know why you didn't get notified. Also, we got an early start today because we didn't have to pick up George's friend today. So we were about 5 minutes early. So sorry if you're just getting here. If you are, happy Monday. Happy New Year. Let's go over a couple of things. So there is a parody account. To be quite honest with you, I don't know the exact name of it. And the parody account says it's a parody account at the top. And for a while, it has been essentially going at me every single solitary day. At first, the besties would send it to me and say, have you seen this? Did you see this? Did you see this? And, listen, for myself, I don't need to see that stuff, but I always subconsciously knew that there were people looking at it for me and sending me like the most egregious things or whatever. Also, some besties didn't know and they would just send it to me and be like, oh my God, did you see this? And I'm like, I got it. Thank you. But I started to monitor it last week, and obviously it's pretty concerning. It's solely targeting me. It's, my face is the profile photo. 99% of the posts are about me. They've thrown in a couple about like Christy in there or whatever. And the posts are absolutely insane. Like calling, like not even sugarcoating it. Like you're a fat, you're a pig, you're a whore, like you're a whale. Like it's directed to me. Like they're talking to me when they do it. So I took some significant time and obviously screenshotted every single solitary post. And that, I hate to admit, took a long time. And this past day or two, they have posted that they were going to be contacting me. And then they posted that they did contact me and that they are just in disguise as a bestie and I'm not aware of it. So that right there made me think that this is a little bit different than normal. And I believe that this account is Steve Cody. And Steve Cody is the man who was harassing me online before. And Steve Cody has sent delivery food to my house, made videos about me. And so today I'm going to go to the police and I'm going to give them all of the new stuff. And I'm going to ask for them to assist with charges against Steve Cody. Because I think that when somebody starts crossing the line and direct contacting me, that is, I can't have that happen, especially someone with hate. And the parody account thing doesn't really shield them from that in this instance, because they've contacted me. Now, admittedly, I have a bunch of text messages from people that just claim to say who they are, and I don't know who they are. But I took the time to go through those text messages and reach out to some besties and go so far as to ask for them to send me selfies, like doing something. And so I've narrowed it down to one phone number. And I believe that that is the person and that's the account. And so we're going to handle that today. So like, to me, the internet is one thing, but once it crosses a line, and that's exactly what happened with Steve Cody the last time. I was fine with the internet trolling. I was fine with the, bullshit comments. I was fine with all of those things. The thing I was not fine with was when it crossed over into real life. And so that's it, because that causes anxiety. That's direct contact, even though all of the posts are directed to me, talking to me. So it vibes with the Steve Cody guy. I had a restraining order against Steve Cody. Steve Cody has committed crimes and has been in jail. And so we're just going to handle that today. And I'll let the police do their job and handle it. And that's it. So that's that. Let's put that aside. Next, over the past 48 hours, 2 people did 2 live streams about me. And I just want to let you know that good morning. I can see a comment or two. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I had no problem getting a restraining order the first time against Steve Cody. He's crazy. And honestly, it's just, it is what it is. We just got to handle these things. So happy to do it. I just want to let you know, if you do a live stream about me, it's not doing what, okay, it could do one thing. Like if you do a live stream about me, and Meredith O'Neill did one, not all about me, but she started it off about me. She played a song about me. She put me on a dry erase board. These bitches are such fucking copycats. They don't have an original thought in their goddamn head. You're gonna copy me all the time. So she did that, and then she had that other like old lady on the show with her, that alcoholic lady. And then Brian did a whole live stream yesterday that was dominating with me. So one thing could happen, right? It could hit one way, right? The first way is I could be mortified, devastated, embarrassed, and upset. Check that off your list. That never fucking happens. Okay. It never happens. So there's that. Second, I could not react or not care at all. That's also never going to happen. The third thing could happen. I say in my head, dance for me, puppets, dance. Like that is what I say. Dance for me, puppets, dance. But I say it in like a creepy voice, like dance for me, puppets, dance. Like if you knew, and I'm giving you a chance, if you knew what that does to my ego, when you do a live stream about me, say things about me that aren't accurate, give your take on these things, and it's about me, it literally shows me how much power I have. Do you understand that? A person with no influence and no power never has a live stream done about them. They're not on your radar. Nobody knows who they are. If they have no power, you don't know about them. But when I've got two people in a span of 24, 48 hours doing live streams about me and talking about me and giving their opinions about me, that shows me literally how powerful I am. It is a power move. Like, let me give you the perfect example. Law girls, not attorneys. Nobody's doing a hate stream about those two girls. Okay? Because they're nobodies. Brian LTL isn't going to pull up a, like Google Slides about law girl attorneys. I'm never going to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's never going to happen. But when you are powerful, when you're influential, when you move the needle, when you have opinions that other people value, when you can influence how people think, then people take notice. Then people will want to stop you if they don't like you. And do you know what I mean? So to me, that's it's a power move. I enjoy it. I love it. I'm tired of lying about it. I'm tired of lying and saying, oh, not again. Ew. Oh, screenshot it if it's bad. No. Last night I watched Brian's whole stream where he talked about me the whole time. And I was like, this man is in his house doing a live stream about me. I'm just obsessed. I'm tired of lying about it. I can't lie about it anymore. I really, really love it when they do things like this. So that's how I feel. That's how I feel. Like they can't, you know what I mean? So there's that. I watched Brian's whole stream. It's mortifying. It's bad. It's bad. It's entertaining in a bad way. Like I was like, this guy, he like queued up all the videos. What does that say? Just did you see how he has a stream set on a high tier and you have to what? Shut up. Let's get a coffee. Nan, this one's for you, baby. What's up, Naniel? Nanartino. Nanzers. Nanny Nan. Hi, good morning. Can I do a large iced white chocolate pistachio made with whole milk? That'll do it. Okay, thanks. We are not going to succumb to the pressure set forth by our Ozempic gastric bypass queen, Daniel, and say we can't have a coffee. We fucking absolutely can have a coffee. We are having a coffee. So yeah, listen, Brian did a whole ass production. This man, so not only did he do a live stream about me, but he like spent time putting it together, putting up a timeline, making graphics, pulling things up, getting all of these things queued up and ready to go. Like he's some sort of like production guy. And I was just like, what on earth, sir? What on earth? This is simping for me really hard, right? Like, I don't know. I had a pretty good Sunday. Well, anyway, we're not going to compare because maybe he had a really great Sunday as well. I don't really know. I have no idea. But it ended with simping over me for a fucking hour and a half or 2 hours with a timeline basically trying to say there was listen, this is peak paranoia where you think that people actually sat around and talked to each other and were like, let's take down Brian LTL. Let me explain to you why that can't possibly be true. Going into starting my channel, it's very obvious, and you all know that I knew I was a better talent in this content creator world than him. We don't need to go and why are we going to go over to the account though? Like it's only going to give them the views and they love and thrive off of that. So no need to check or anything. I get it, but you can, it's fine. You can go see it if you want to. But anyway, so, where's my wallet? Okay. So let me explain this. And Nan is just a terror. She's in the chat calling me fat. And then they block me, so I can't comment. And they were blocking every single comment right away. I watched it all in real time. Thanks to the bestie who screen grabbed all of it. You never know when we need it. That girl's the real MVP. So like it's a problem with Republicans overall, where we don't ever feel like we need to be proactive and then we end up on the defensive, right? Like Republicans are out there doing their thing and Democrats are coming up with scams like voter fraud and shit like that. Like I'm out here thriving and doing my life, and Kayla Churchill's like, oh, Jess Machado is going to run against me for state committee. I better put out a video and disparage her reputation because she knows that when we're on the ballot together, she's going to get trounced, right? So it comes down to like, I don't have to come up with some sort of a plan to dismantle Brian. I didn't have to do anything at all. All I had to do was speak my truth about Brian. By the way, before anybody else, I said what nobody was saying about Brian. Literally the day after I did my stream, or even after I did my stream on the same day, then Will came and started speaking his truth journey, which maybe there were sprinkles of it before, but nobody had come out and said what they said about Brian. Happy to be a trailblazer in this industry. And all I did was say my piece about Brian and watched him melt down in real time because I knew that Brian would self-sabotage because of who Brian is, of who I watched, of who I interacted with. I didn't have to do anything. I don't have to come up with some sort of elaborate plan. I just had to say, listen, you're going to be watching me on YouTube now. Just so you know, I have nothing to do with that guy. And here's the reason why. The fucking Nathan Reed interview was cringe. He is obsessed with his competition. And he's petty and weird, and I have nothing to do with this guy. And all I had to do was say that, cut ties with this guy, let everybody know in advance I got paid, because I didn't want him to have that power over me, which he, he clearly talked about last night. Like, I knew. Brian knew that he paid me, but nobody else knew. So I won't go. I'm done with this weirdo. Bye, bye, bye. And everybody else will see it on their own. And not only did everybody else see it on their own, but he crashed and burned and he destroyed his channel because he's a fucking asshole. And that's it. And so I didn't have to come up with a plan. I didn't have to call anybody. I'm not in cahoots with anybody else. I just didn't have to do anything. I just said my stuff and that was it. You know what I mean? Not a big deal. There's a way that Brian could have handled that. He could have ignored it. For a guy that talks and does all these live streams previously about like how to make it in this industry and how to be a YouTube creator and tell everybody what to do, like the guy didn't understand like this whole thing, like longevity 101. Like, ignore it, dude. Ignore it. Ignore me. Make fun of yourself. Be self-deprecating. Turn it around. Do a funny stream with me. Call me up and then fucking, try to like make amends or whatever. Like you fumbled it, dude. I don't know what to tell you. I thought we weren't talking about these idiots anymore because they did a live stream about me all last night. So I'm acknowledging it today. And we aren't really talking about them anymore. And this is leading up to what's good. Who knows? Maybe I will. I'm not going to say that I won't. Sometimes I feel like I can't be bothered with these people. And then sometimes I feel like I need to address it. Certainly not sitting here and going, oh, that's content. It's not how I want to start my fucking week. But also like, I don't know, dude, like two people did 2 live streams this weekend. I feel like I got to acknowledge it at least. But we're getting to a point where I'm going to tell you, not getting to a point. Part of this conversation, I have to tell you something. So, so put that aside for the Brian live stream or whatever. It is what it is. There was no conspiracy. He literally was like, oh, Jess texted me at this time. And then 8 minutes later, I got a text from Aiden. And like, so like on my grandmother's soul, I had no plan or was not in cahoots with anybody, Will or Aiden or anybody, to take down Brian LTL. It was not even on my agenda. All I wanted to do was to cut ties with him, come clean about him paying me, and just basically say, like, this is my experience with him. I have still to this day held back on telling everything I knew about Brian during the time when I was working with him and collabing with him. I still have not said everything I wanted to say. No reason to completely embarrass him. But I will say, it's okay. So done with the Brian thing. Second thing with Meredith. Meredith has a YouTube channel now. I don't know how long her stream is. I did not watch that one. I popped in and out. Hot take. Here's my take. Meredith has absolutely every right to do a live stream on a YouTube channel to talk about her experience with her ex-boyfriend, because her ex-boyfriend did one about her. Okay? That's my take. And I don't care if people don't like that. Hi, good morning. Good morning. There's no, it's just fine. Thank you.
No straw.
No straw. Thank you. If Meredith wants to do that, she's totally okay with, in my book, she can do that. I maintain Meredith, dragging me or talking about me that is her looking at Aiden's, what she views as Aiden's tentacles. So people out there doing Aiden's work of supporting him, or people who publicly support him, those are tentacles to her, and they're we're subsidies of Aiden, and therefore we're fair game. And I almost completely understand why she does it. And that's it. I think we have to start looking at Meredith as a wounded animal here. And not as this is how I feel. I watched that live stream, right? Okay. And I watched that video somebody clipped of her, which I was like, how do I say this to my phone? I looked at that video and I looked at her and I was like, if I'm looking at this completely objectively, if I were a nobody, like, she's down fucking bad. Okay. And she clearly has a problem with the receptors in her brain when a man tells her he doesn't want her anymore. Okay. Something happens. Now, I don't know what that's like, but I suspect it is very difficult to deal with. And she is struggling, obviously. And I'm not going to listen. Just hear me out on this. Thanks so much. Same to you. Just hear me out. I understand. I hear you. Some people are not going to be okay with this. Listen. Hold on. What's her channel name? That's bait for me. I'm not going to say. Listen, Lauren, I agree. Here's what I'm saying. There is something wrong with her. And I said, put the Brian thing aside. Bring that all forward. Okay. Like, there's, how do I explain it? So I talked about Brian because I came into this arena and Brian was a YouTuber and I wanted to cut the ties. I wanted to exactly what I just said about Brian, right? There was no hate. There was no competition. It was just listen, we're cutting ties with this guy. Let's clear the air, blah, 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 blah. Every single solitary thing I have done after that is a reaction to something Brian has done. I started it by saying what I wanted to say. And every time you see me talk about Brian or respond to Brian, it is a reaction to something Brian has done. I don't need it to be a perpetual thing with Brian. I said my piece, I'm confident in it. I moved on from that part of it, but anytime I acknowledge him or I respond to him or anything like that, it's because of something he has done. Brian can't let it go. Can't let it go. And he can't figure out how to get away from what's happened to him, right? He just continues to make it worse. Meredith is the same thing. She can't let it go. Aiden dumped her, and she can't let it go. This is a problem, I think, that comes from some sort of mental health issue. Now, I did share it last night on my page. I ultimately took it down because I was thinking about how I was going to say this morning. And Brian, on a live stream from 2022, Brian has a lot of, so I watched it, so you don't have to, okay? I wouldn't recommend giving him the views because we're in a competition after all. But Brian has some content that has been up for a long time, and I watched a lot of it. And there's something wrong with Brian. That's not a joke. There's something wrong with Brian. Brian admits it. He says that he is undiagnosed bipolar. And there's something wrong with Brian. If I didn't watch those videos and I didn't see him talk about it, I just want to let you know that there are people that have been close to Brian through the years who have reached out to me and shared with me that there is some sort of a problem there. And the latest came recently, this past weekend, and I learned a lot more about Brian. And learning more about Brian made me realize that there's just something wrong, okay? And I'm going to give you the perfect example of that. Brian didn't have a really good childhood, and he grew up in poverty and in some sort of bad situations. And without giving any more information, you know, in Brian's own words, he's beat the odds, right? He has beat the odds because he should have a drug problem. He should have a drinking problem. He should have a domestic abuse problem. He should have a financial problem, but he has beat the odds, right? On the surface, but the other issues haven't been handled. Okay. And Brian making fun of my car repo and making fun of other things, when Brian has had the home life that he has had, is rich, because Brian had his own problems. And that's why I really truly believe that there's something wrong with him, because like Brian shouldn't be making fun every single solitary day about my car getting almost repossessed. It never got repossessed. Brian shouldn't be making fun about that. That shouldn't, like, somebody else who hasn't had financial difficulty in their family, you know what I mean? Maybe, but Brian has had problems in his life. And so that's why I feel it's a little not right there. You know what I mean? Something's not quite right. And then in regards to Meredith, the way that she's handling this breakup, this is not the first time. This is round 2. Okay? When someone wants to break up with Meredith, it doesn't go well. There's something wrong. So these are people that are on the surface, are high functioning members of society, but aren't really okay. Do you know what I mean? So I see, so somebody's saying something. He talked about it on his shows. If you go back to his shows from years and years and years ago, which somebody had suggested I do, I went and watched, and he talks about it. I literally have a clip of him saying that he has undiagnosed bipolar. It's his own words, not mine. So if somebody's in the comments or in the chat saying, you know, about his brother who killed himself or whatever, you know, am I trying to do that? Listen, here's my response to anybody who says that. The things that Brian has posted about me consistently for the past 30 days or so, if I was not mentally strong, could break me. They could make me feel very bad about myself. Brian has fat shamed me, called me names, disparaged my body, made fun of me, talks about my eating habits, talks about my financial situations when I was not doing financially well. He has been relentless. There is a catalog of it. Up until just this past week, I don't know if I've ever posted about Brian on my ex account. I don't think I have. Maybe, but I mean, certainly not multiple times a day, multiple comments, taking photos, and like, you know, what Brian is doing, again, like, that's why I think there's something wrong, because and I appreciate the comment to somebody saying, like, you know, Brian's brother, you know, did what he did to himself. And am I trying to trigger Brian by talking about these things? Well, at what point will Brian stop doing what he does to me? Like, I have every single solitary right. And Go back and watch the show that I talked about Brian. I have every single solitary right to say what I said about Brian. And by the way, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It was, I'm going to talk about this guy. I'm going to talk about my partnership with him. I'm going to talk about why I don't like him. I'm going to talk about why I don't want to be affiliated with him. And I have absolutely every single solitary right to do that. It was nothing like what this guy has done to me. Nothing. And I have every right in a professional environment to say and do what I did. Brian is not doing this. Brian is obsessed. Brian is attacking. Brian is cruel. Brian is hateful. I had no hate towards Brian. I still don't have hate towards Brian. Brian has hate towards me, an unhealthy level of hate. He is blaming me for his channel tanking when he should have been planning well in advance that post Karen Read life was not going to be lucrative for him. He's using me as an example or a crutch as to why he's failed. But that's not the first time he's failed. He has rebranded his channel 3 times prior to me. Like, it's got to stop. And it's something is just not right there. That's my take. Something's just not right. And I'm not going to share other things I know, but I will say that since I have learned a couple of things, I am now looking at this as being just a person with a mental health issue. And I don't really know. I'm not a professional. I don't know how to handle it. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how it should be done. I don't really fucking know. I'm going to tell you something. As long as that guy is posting on the internet and calling me fat and talking about my repo and doing all of this shit like that, I'm here and I'm going to do whatever I want. That's it. I will do it. I don't fucking care. I don't care. If people who really care about Brian are concerned about Brian, they should get involved and talk to him. Same goes for Meredith. If people are really concerned about Meredith and people who really care about her, they can intervene. Like, I just don't know what else to say. For me, I'm not kidding. There's no mental health issue with Brian or Meredith doing live streams about me. It doesn't affect me in a negative way at all. You know, I'm trying to be kind of like, oh, ouch, like, oh, I hate this. You know what I mean? But like, you know, I have to be really honest. It was almost like the inertia of it is like I'm expected to be like mortified over it. Like, I'm not going to do that anymore either. Like, I'm not mortified at this. It doesn't bother me. It's crazy. It's funny. It's weird. It's good for my ego. Like, I'm not going to lie about that. I don't think I was deliberately lying. I really do think, like, I just thought I don't even know. I guess I wasn't putting too much thought into it when I was saying, like, how I felt about it. If I was saying anything at all, I wasn't really like, you know, the verdict is in and I don't care. I guess that's how I feel about it. I will say the other part of this too is Naniel, I don't think has any type of mental health issue. I think she's just a nasty bitch. She's nasty. Nan, I love you, Nan. Please stop hurting me. I love you. Please. Please. I love you. I never said a bad word about you, Naniel. I never did. I held my ground. I was just like, she's above on the Horizon social chart. It's not even a bitch. And look what she's done. Just goes to show you. Doesn't matter. And you know what? Naniel is just defending Brian. And, you know, it is what it is. But I will say, some of her comments in the chat last night were fucking nasty. She is nasty. She's got it. Little Miss Jackson. You're nasty. She is weird. Weird. Weirdy, weird. Daniel is on a bad girl rampage. I don't know what's going on with Daniel. I have no idea. But she's going after Melanie Little. Good luck. That's a wall you can't win. If you're gonna, you gotta get your own YouTube channel up. You gotta compete with the views. These people are really weird. I just want to do funny things and talk about Pyrex. That's all I want to do. Nan is being used by these guys. Nan is hungry. Jesus Christ. That's the other thing. Maybe there's an issue there with Nan. She goes after my drinking and my beverage every single solitary day. Maybe she misses food. I don't know what's wrong with these people. I don't know what is wrong with these people. There's something weird about them. I can't put my finger on it because I am not weird myself. They love to hate me, though, which is pretty funny. I don't know. Anyway, it's weird. I'm just dealing with the people that are in the arena that I stepped into. I got to deal with them. I just, some of them I high five, some of them I hug, some I push away. You know what I mean? That could be a New Horizon social chart. Who do we hug? Who do we high five? Who do we push away? Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Meredith has a chart. Now we can't have a social chart anymore on the dry erase board. Now we can't. If people copy me, we have to reinvent ourselves. We have to first of all, we don't even have to try. If you're creative, if you're funny, if you want to be entertaining, you don't have to, can I just remind everybody, some of the funniest parts of what I do on this channel have been in the moment, thought up in the moment. You think I thought or planned out Horizon social chart was going to be what it was? No, I was just okay, let's do this. This will be funny. Let's talk about it. Let's do it. I thought of it that day. The field trip thing, that's because I needed to get this lamp at an estate sale. I didn't have to plan it out or plot it out. I didn't have to do any type of I just did it. Beaver moon, paper eating ritual. That was just there in the moment. I don't know. I'm almost thirsty for these people to do some funny shit like that. You know what I mean? Listen, Jimmy is a jokester. Jimmy's show is all about the joking and the funny, and it's hysterical, and that's his thing. I don't expect everybody to do that kind of thing or whatever. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Where's the creativity? Oh, the wolf moon? Yes. Yeah, so I don't know. I like talking it out with everybody here and just kind of doing, I don't know. I think if you go into every show, when you turn the camera on, and I'm new to this, when I turn the camera on, the first thing I think about is making you guys happy. That is the first. I want you all to be happy. Now, I understand there's a couple people in here who are like, why are we talking about Brian? I thought we were going to talk about this again. if I felt the majority of the chat was just like, we're over it and didn't want to hear an update or talk about it, I would probably, feel the pulse of the chat and recognize people don't want to hear about it and change. You know what I mean? Right now, I think based on what I've seen, a lot of people were interested because there were these 2 live streams and you're watching. Listen, this is the morning 24 on 2024 is like about things that are buzzing around in my head in the morning. This is what I'm thinking about. This is what I'm sharing because it's what I'm thinking about. Do you know what I mean? But like when I turn on the camera, the first thing I think about is like making the chat happy, the people watching happy. I almost never think about the haters because you don't see them. I just think about the chat. And I think about the people that are watching and listening. And I'm like, I have a job to do for them. Like, I've got to be entertaining. Now, I also understand that, like, no, I'm saying that, but that's not really quite true either, is it? I guess I'm working through this in real time. Because I was just thinking about like when I lost my studio, like I never turned on the camera to be entertaining. I turned on to share. So maybe I think when I turn on the camera, it's to share and be authentic. And that's what makes you happy and entertaining and entertains you, I guess. I just don't put too much thought into it, is basically what I'm trying to say. I rest on my laurels. That's that. Yeah, Georgia has a half day this week. Can't believe. So we're back at school. I think you're doing great, and the accountability will drive your product. Some journalism, some humor, some opinions, some random ass shit that we've never seen before. A mini Pyrex obsession, a little bit of like, estate sales, having to get a lamp that I obsessed about. What does that say? And being new, you didn't know you two folks didn't pay each other. Oh, that Spicy Misty, that thing will haunt me forever. I swear to God, I wasn't a YouTuber when I was on Brian's show. I was a reporter for Fall River Reporter the first time. And then when I went on the second time and signed that contract with him, I was hold on. I just got a text message and I forgot to shut off my text, so it just dropped down. I have to read it. Ugh. Wait, I have a bunch of messages. This is the worst part about I didn't hit do not disturb, so all of these text messages came through and I am distracted. Oh, okay. So somebody sent me those things. Am I still here? Shit. Yeah. Um, wait, Ben, what's going on? Is Ben looking for a job? Do we have a task at hand? Scroll back. I'm scrolling back. What did I miss? Is Ben looking for a job? Name Suzanne, this is the first channel I've paid for happily. I shopped and watched and waited, and I strongly prefer your content. It's practical, relatable, and fun. Thank you. I love that. Coffee Cake 58601 says, I think Jess could be a narrator for Audible. You should honestly think about it. You're very entertaining. That is not the first time somebody has said that to me. And I will look into that. You make me happy as long as Will stays out, in my opinion. Wait, help me. Did Ben get laid off? He's looking for admin work. Lost my job at the end of September. Been looking. Ben. Okay. Okay. Besties. Let me think about that, Ben. Besties unite to find Ben a job. I hope you don't turn into an influencer. So I can just say this. I have had like these companies reach out to me. And I think that's because simply like, you know, they look around and they see when there's like activity and trends and things growing or whatever. And I have not partnered with any of them. And to date, I choose not to. You know, I was caught a little off guard by the first one, and I was like, is this a scam? And it wasn't, but I was like, no. I can tell you right now, like Bay Harbor Beauty sent me like that packet of all of that stuff that I like didn't know I needed. And I felt a little weird about it because I didn't want people to think like, oh, because I got this for free. But that's why I like used it all first. I didn't want to like say I was using it. I have made no money off of that. Like I just got those products to try and then I shared. We have no contract. We have nothing. There's no anything. I really like the product and she seems like a really great fan of mine. And so happy to let her share like a discount code with you guys. Like I get no financial benefit from that. That feels authentic and real to me. And that's how I feel. I can't see myself ever doing anything like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just don't. Again, like I've read a lot recently about like losing your soul to this kind of shit. And uh I don't want to be that way. You know what I thought of the other day too, because again, this whole thing is where people are talking about money and stuff like that. Like perhaps I'm an idiot, but like to me, the amount of money I made in December is probably not a lot of money to these other guys. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe I'm feeling like so braggy about it because it was such an accomplishment. Like, I probably have no business acting that way. Probably no business acting that way. I want to just let people know, like, the first month I did the show, I made $400. $400. And I remember it hit my account and I was at Market Basket or Walmart and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to go back and get that sweatshirt I wanted. Like, I was like, where was I there? Where was I? I went back and got something I wasn't going to buy, but I got it when I was in a store with Jeff. Like, I couldn't believe I made money on YouTube. You know, I didn't really understand. And I also probably have to take that into consideration when I look at Brian and Mike Crawford. They're hemorrhaging subs. They are not getting the views. And what do you do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what would I do if that was happening to me where it turned in the other direction? I would try to change. I would try to figure it out. I would try to like, I would ask. I would ask. I would go to my base and I would be like, what do you want to see from me? What do you want to hear? What can I do differently? What am I doing wrong? You know what I mean? So I don't know if they've done that. Like, I don't know why they don't turn it over to the chat. don't, you don't have to, it's not, you don't have to figure it out. Give it to the chat. Ask the chat what they want. When my chat was going crazy, they love Beaver Moon. We love Beaver Moon. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just kind of feel like that's how I feel. That's how I feel. Not all chats are like ours. Is that true? Wait, is Ben Rosa going to go work at the casino? So fun fact, I almost took a job at Lincoln to work in there when I left Bank of America for a part-time like counting money gig. One of my favorite things to do at Bank of America was to balance the vault. I don't know, it's not for everybody. And I think some people would probably have like a lot of anxiety about it, but so every single solitary day, at the end of the day, if you've never worked at a bank, at the end of the day, you have to balance the whole branch money-wise, obviously. And somebody said I was a teller. I was not a teller. That's an entry-level position at the bank. I was in account management. Thank you. So, but we used to have like a branch manager and then like an admin person. And then in the event that neither one of them were there, we would balance the whole branch. And it's something I don't really understand. Like either you like it or you don't or whatever. And I absolutely loved balancing. Counting the money, balancing it all out was one of my favorite things to do. Even when it didn't balance properly, figuring out what was wrong. I liked figuring that out. Like, do you know what I mean? Sometimes it'd be $20, sometimes it'd be 5,000. Like, where is it? Let's find it. Let's figure it out. Like, it was never stolen. It was there. It was like a challenge. And so I loved counting the money. I also loved counting like the cash and banding it. We would have to open the vault and take all of the money out. We never had to single count the ones, the fives, or the tens, but the 20s, the 50s, and the hundreds, we would always have to open. And I don't remember how frequently we had to do this, but I mean, it depends on what branch you worked at. Somerset was a small, mediocre branch, but I've worked and filled in at larger branches, and there's a lot of money, and you would just run it through the machines, make sure it added, band it up, initial it, and put it off to the side, and then stack it. And sometimes it would take forever. Sometimes it'd take over an hour to do it. It was my favorite thing to do. Favorite. Counting the coins, counting the banded cash, running it through the machine. Absolutely favorite. And I love balancing it and then figuring out what was wrong and why there was money missing. What mistakes. Sometimes somebody would put something in like wrong and we'd have to go back and we'd have to look at all of the transaction history. Like, I love doing that. I also like knots and necklaces. If you have my kids, my girls know, especially if they have a necklace and it has a knot in it, they bring it over to me. And I love taking the knot out. It doesn't matter how complicated. It doesn't matter how it looks like it's a lost cause. I can get it out every single solitary time. The key is to not hold it. The key is to lay it flat on a flat surface, preferably on a piece of white paper. And you take two tweezers, two different sets of tweezers, and you start, it's because the tension in the chain is what prevents you from getting the knot out. The way to do that is to alleviate the tension in the chain. And so you just use 2 tweezers and you slowly undo each one until it loosens up and you take them out. It's just weird. I don't know if I can do it with yarn, but I can do it with any necklace. Even when I worked at Victoria's Secret, my store won a contest. Again, competition. I love it. We won a contest for selling the most bombshell bras, and we were number 1 in the company, and we all won Tiffany necklaces. Julia was like, I'm going to say she was like maybe in middle school when I won, and I gave her the Tiffany necklace, and she gave it to me years later. And she was like, I haven't worn this in a long time because of this. And it had a very, very, very fine silver chain. And, I had to get it all out, and I did. I absolutely love it's again, like I like puzzles, I like the challenge, I like figuring things out. It's very therapeutic to me. Yeah, I absolutely love it. If we do a meet and greet and in March, bring all of your necklaces and I'll just set up a table in the corner with a light and 2 tweezers and I'll take all your necklaces apart. I went to this really great meet and greet with this YouTube girl who covered the Karen Reed trial, and I just watched her untangle necklaces for an hour. It's why I like puzzles. I don't know. It's just, I'm weird. I'm a fucking weirdo. What do you want me to tell you? I have no idea. We have a tentative meet and greet scheduled for Saturday, March 14th. Okay. March 14th, Saturday. And I did talk to TT. She will go. Jeffrey will go. Obviously, we can't do that without Jeffrey. But it can't be fucking boring, to be honest with you. It can't be boring. It has to. That's great. It can't be boring. It can't be. We can't just go to a place and it literally just be. Is it Spicy Mithy's 50th birthday today? Bitch, it's your birthday? You didn't even tell me. Happy birthday. Do you want me to sing it? That would be terrible. Sound like bad. Cats in a burlap bag. Hi, Cheech. Where is the meet and greet? It's going to be in Fall River. I don't know what else to tell you. It's going to be in Fall River. It could be boring because I think when people get together, people might feel a little awkward. Like meeting people for the first time, that's not for everybody. As you can imagine, I am okay with that. But I don't know if it's going to be okay for happy birthday, Jen. Belated. Spicy Misty is always in the chat. She never misses a live. She always sends me wonderful, encouraging messages. She always gives me great ideas, and I appreciate you very much. J401 also had a birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, bestie. So Caitlin's going to be there. Oh, say no more. Pink Sparkle Queen will be there. It will not be boring. But I can't just risk it and just say, let's just all show up and let's all just sit around and talk. No. Then I thought, okay, do I want to do a live stream? Absolutely not. I don't want to be tied to my phone. I don't want to be tied. If we're here and the chat is live, I don't want to be on my phone. So I am looking for a place that will allow us to go and will have either band or karaoke. That obviously has to be it. A place where we can like have drinks and sing and dance and or do karaoke. That is the kind of meet and greet I want. That is the kind of meet and greet I'm going to get. That's what you deserve. So if you want to, if there's karaoke, we can't do the casino either. And I'm going to tell you why, Melissa. Here's why. I can't just be at a slot machine. If there were tables, you saw what happened on Saturday. TT's going to be circling them like a vulture. We can't do a casino for our meet and greet. It's too distracting. It's going to be a music based situation. I really think it's going to be karaoke or a band or something. I have a couple of locations. You got to keep in mind, I've organized mom gang, like our mom group. I've organized mom gang events before. And so sometimes I need to find a place that'll take 15 to 20 women. I've done this before. What's the last mom? We haven't done it in a while, but the last one we did, I think, was we went bowling. There's a bowling alley in Somerset. There's a bar, there's food, and the moms went and we did bowling, and it's hysterical and it's fun. I don't think we can do that because I have absolutely no idea how many people would go. If there's going to be 15, 20 people, we can do bowling. If there's going to be 30 people, we can't do bowling. Amy lives too far away. When are we doing Palm Springs for the best? Yes, I'm singing All Cried Out. All alone on a Sunday morning, outside I see the rain is falling. Oh, inside I'm slowly dying, but the rain won't hide my crying, crying, crying. And don't you know my tears will burn my pillow? Set this place on fire, 'cause I'm tired of your lies. All I needed was a simple hello. But the traffic was so noisy that you could not hear my cry. I gave you all of, I don't know. My body never knew such pleasure. My heart never knew my pain. And you leave me so confused. Now I'm all cried out over you. Oh, you. All over you. Never wanted to see things your way. I had to go astray. Oh, why was I such a fool? Listen, the best part of me singing karaoke is I can't sing karaoke. It's terrible. I've never, ever, ever, ever wanted anything more in my life than to be blessed with the gift of song. And I just have never had it. If you can carry a tune, I just want you to know that is where my true envy and jealousy lies. That you can sing and it be okay and not sound like kittens in a burlap bag going over a bridge, because that's what that's all about. Hippie chick, that's the tentative plan. We're going to listen. Okay, so there's a couple things that we've got to go over a couple scheduling things, and then we cannot let this go to 2 hours today. Famous last words. Number one, we're going to start a Facebook page group. People are looking for a place where they can talk to each other, because you can't talk in the chat. You can't talk in the chat after the live. People are looking for a home. You're all homeless. Everybody needs a thing. Funeral lady, not like she doesn't have enough to do. She runs a whole ass funeral home, and she also runs a bunch of obituary pages, which is a genius thing. Offered to start or admin a Bunnies Besties Facebook group. I know you hate Facebook, but listen, we can't do it all here. Not everybody's on X. We got to go to the Facebook thing. Okay. So it's just no choice. You're basically homeless. We need a space. Also, I need to get back to Facebook because I don't really post on there anymore. And It's not right. I ignore Facebook and the people on Facebook. It's not fair. Those were my OGs before I was on X. And so we can't ignore. So we're going to, I'll probably start it in Amy will admin. Amy's in my mom gang. And so we're going to do a Facebook page. And then I hate to say this, but you're going to have to go RSVP to an event in the Facebook group. I miss Facebook too, Bay Harbor Beauty. I miss it. It's wrong. I can't. I've got to go back. So I will never go on Discord ever in a million years. You'll never catch me on there. Not only that, but I've had so many people tell me things start off well on Discord and it all goes downhill, and I can't have that. So we're going on Facebook. We're going to make a group. I will link it in the comments probably tomorrow on the 24 and 24. I'm going to start it today, and then we will be able to do things there. You're going to have to RSVP and make a commitment. I'm going to set this tone right now. If we get like less than 20 people to go to a meet and greet, we will not be having a meet and greet. I will not have that shame. So just prepare your fucking selves. Okay. There's that. Number 2, don't go in the Facebook group and be fucking dumb cunts. Okay. Just be responsible and be nice. And let's just let it be what we need, which is an extension of this chat. And if there's losers in there that come in and do stupid shit, then we have to kick them out. Okay. So, but if it starts getting crazy and out of control, we have to get rid of it. So behave. Okay. There's that. So we're going to start a Facebook group. We'll do it today. Number 2, the political show is launching on Tuesday of next week at 12 o'clock. We were going to do Mondays, but now, based on some data and looking at the days that are the best, it's going to be Tuesday at 12. This is going to be like the actual thing. I'm going to be doing some pop-in lives politically just to kind of get my feet wet this week. But we're doing a hard launch next week, and we're going to have formalized the names and everything because we talked about the whole thing. So just keep an eye out for that stuff. Next thing, Wednesday, Bunny After Dark. I have a meeting on Wednesday with the elders in town because it is election season, and we have to plan our attack. And so some of the elders were away. A couple of the elders were away on trips, and they're back, and it is election season. And we have been talking all in separate places, but now it is time to actually physically bring all of the elders together. And we have an election to win and run. And so I was kindly waiting for other people to maybe call it, and nobody did. And so now we're having one on Wednesday at 6 p.m. And the haters who are local, that's fine. They're already doing theirs. So Bunny After Dark is actually going to start late on Wednesday. I hate this for us, and I hate this for some of you, but it's going to start at 9 p.m. Okay. Because I would say safely, I'm going to be in a meeting from 6 to 8 p.m. But I know everybody likes to chit chat. And so it might not be until 9. I will 100% start at 9. Even if I'm not at home in my office, I will start it at 9 no matter what. So Bunny After Dark on Wednesday is going to have a one-time new time change at 9 p.m. because I have a meeting. Also, I know we haven't had this show or this platform during campaign season. You guys got it at the best of times. No campaigning. We started this in August. I know, Amy, I'm sorry. But I know I have moved Bunny this week to a different day. What? Change it to 8 p.m. I don't know. But this is a very important meeting. I know. This is a very important meeting, and it's the only day everybody could get together. Oh my God, besties. We can't. Okay. Okay. Let's shoot for 8. Let's shoot for 8. We'll shoot for 8. Coach K Swizzle is in the chat. Let's see how chatty he fucking is and see if we can get some shit done and we can go from 6 to 8. I knew Ben would be on my side. We have an election to win. We've got a plan. All right. At a minimum, we'll be at 8 p.m. I mean, at a minimum 9, but maybe we will get to 8. We'll see. I will say we're doing the meeting at 6. It is possible to be done by 8, but it would definitively wouldn't be done by 7. And believe me, I kept you all in mind. But when you're having like 9 people meet up physically in person, it's a very tough thing to do. And some of these people are elected officials already, and so they have meetings, and it's not feasible. It's very hard to get everybody, all of the stakeholders. I call them the elders, even though they're all some are my age, but it's basically the people who I have the most respect for, except for Coach K Swizzle. And it's really just the stakeholders who make the decisions. They run the town. Should I bring you to the meeting? I cannot bring you to the meeting. These are top secret strategy. Wait, Jeff should be in charge until I get back. I can't because Jeffrey is taking his music lessons on Wednesday, if you remember. Facebook page does not exist yet. I'm going to make it when I get home. And then I can always come and drop it in the chat after, and hi to the replay crew, by the way, if you're here. Thank you for joining us. Also, smash that subscribe button. No, smash that like. I have no idea. Do the things. Do whatever it is you're supposed to do. Whatever it is those other people tell you to do, just do that for this. Thanks so much. It's okay. It's okay. It's just, so listen, I love all of you. And also I love this channel. I wouldn't say I love politics more, but I love elected officials. Look at this fucking, Jesus, slow the fuck down. I love real life a lot, and it's very important. It's just important. And also, you know what? That's part of my life that you guys haven't seen, but politics is a big fucking deal to me. You know what I mean? It's important because I see a direct correlation to this meeting, to the quality of my life. Putting responsible, smart, capable, non-corrupt people in positions of power impacts my life on a daily, because when I wasn't paying attention, we had crazy people running the ship and crazy shit happened, like me getting arraigned on fucking harassment charges because you have a chief of police that is corrupt. How does that happen? Corrupt politicians that vote on his contract. We can't have that. Oh, we got to stop because all of these duckies are crossing the road. Take your time. This one just sat in the fucking middle of the road. No fucking way. She sat in the middle of the road. Come on, Petunia. She's like a crossing guard for the rest of them. Look at, she sits while the others cross. She sits on the line and then she gets up when they cross. Can you imagine? Go ahead, sweet potato. She sat on the line in the middle of the road. Get up on the sidewalk. Get going. You're going to get hurt. Guys, that baby sat on the middle of the line and she was like a crossing guard for everybody else. And then when they finished crossing, she got up. What a little charming sweet potato. What a sweet potato. How do they know how to do that? How do they know? I'm just going to stand here, everybody. Just get across. If I sit down on this line, the cars seem to stop. All right. So anyway, so that's Wednesday. We're going to be doing some random pop-up political rants and things. I don't know if anybody saw what happened last night. I did a Spaces. I am so mad about it. By the way, if I ever come to you and ask you to go to another X page and do a campaign political poll again, don't go. Just say, fuck you, Jessica. Don't do it. Because last night in real time, I was watching the numbers on this poll on Chester Tam's X account. And got to give credit to Mr. Monk's understudy. Mr. Monk's understudy was like, this happened the last time, Jessica. And so Chester Tam is a Republican that I was I was asked by Sheriff Tom Hodgson to be the director for the Trump campaign for Trump, right? Massachusetts, 2024. I think I told you guys this. And it was supposed to be a paid position. And when I found out that it wasn't, as you can imagine, Jeffrey Machado was just like, absolutely not. And so I waited around a month and a half or so to see if they were actually going to come through and pay me, and they didn't. And so I said, no. Hold on a second. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Listen, the problem is I didn't hit do not disturb on my phone before I did my live stream, and I'm getting text messages and I can't not look at them. I can't not look. I've got to look. Somebody sent me a text and it was like, this might be a rumor. You know that meme where it's like, listen, if you send me a text and it says, this might be a rumor, I am checking it. I don't give a fuck if I've got a live stream going. I am clicking on your message because I need to see it immediately. What is a rumor? Tell me the tea. I need to know. Should you run against Chester? Lauren, if you're interested in running for office, we should have a chat. So Chester, what is Chester's story? So Chester Tam replaced me on the Trump campaign. So I stepped away, and I don't know if the sheriff must have picked Chester Tam to take my spot. Now there's zero animosity or hard feelings there because I willingly left. So I had absolutely no problem with that. And from what I gathered, Chester was very well organized. And I had no problem with him. The only time I ever spoke with Chester directly was I had to give him access to the Facebook page. And I think there was a couple of issues with that. Like, I thought the sheriff always had access to be able to give and put the admins. Turns out he couldn't. So there was some communication issues there. But once I talked to him and put him on, he took over the page, and that's it. And so that was it. Beyond that, I believe Chester ran or was going to run for a Board of Health position where he is from. But I think now Chester is running for state rep, if I'm correct. So I think, if I'm correct. So Chester has worked hard on building a following on X. Yes, thank you, Ben. I don't know what his numbers are or anything like that. But I know that he's seen growth on X. I love when people understand like the power of the platform and recognize like, there is some actual like reasons to be on X. And so he transitioned from Facebook, or maybe he's still on Facebook. I don't know. We've got to get back to Facebook. But he's invested some time on X. And one of the things that he does is he's like, I'm going to do a poll about whatever, and so he did a poll. I think he's done 4 of them about gubernatorial candidates, Republican gubernatorial candidates, and you vote on a poll just like any poll on X. Okay. And I think the first 2 polls were fine and nothing really crazy happening. Nothing really crazy happening on the polls, right? But not the poll yesterday, but the last poll, poll number 3. We do these polls and you share them, and I just want to let you know, when I share a poll like that, instantly the numbers and the metrics change, because I have a really great motivated group of followers who will at a minimum go and look at the poll, and it moves the needle, and I love seeing that. Again, power move for me. Like, I've got all these besties, they're invested, they listen, and they're interested, and they will go at least at a minimum check it out. And so you see the views jump, like it's really great. And I love that for us. But the last poll, I guess they go on for like a day or 2 days. And the last poll, we saw a crazy jump, artificial jump in votes right at the very end, a disproportionate growth in viewership and also voting. And it was kind of suspect. Like, basically we were like, how did this happen? What's going on? And so I'm pretty positive we were looking at paid like X accounts, which you can do. You can go to a company and you can buy accounts that will do whatever the fuck you want. Okay. That is an unfortunate reality. And I know that Elon and Twitter prior to that were trying to handle bots or whatever, but it is just the way that it is. Okay. If I were to start a company, it would be a bot account company on X. Okay. I would do that. So they make accounts and whatever. So anyway, the numbers were weird. And I called out Chester on it, and I was just like, what are we doing here? Like, this can't, if you can't control this, and I just don't know if he can, whatever. But I'm not sure there was any real proof, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So guess what happens? Chester does another poll, and I'm like, okay, I don't like losing. I don't want my candidate to lose this poll. I'm voting, and then I'm going to share it. So I share it, and I encourage the besties, especially people who follow my politics, who are supporting Mike because they have listened to everything I had to say, or organically they like Mike Keneally. They all go vote, and we see that Mike Keneally is doing really, really well. So then yesterday, it's the last couple of hours of the poll, and I'm like, I'm going to share this one more time. But while I did it, I wanted to be able to say, I'm not just going to ask you go and vote, because that's not going to be a real authentic, like, it's false. Like, me telling a bunch of people, just go push this button, doesn't necessarily mean that that's the guy you're going to vote for. And again, in an effort to be authentic and real, I was like, let me do this live while I'm cooking, and let me talk to you a little bit about Mike Keneally's team, and just that. We're going to save like the politics part of it and the policy part of it and all of that stuff for when I do my show. But on a Sunday, it's not that deep. Let me just tell you about the team and the people that surround him and the team he put together, and why that made a difference for me. And while I did that, I was like, please go and vote in this poll if this is something that you find worthy of a vote. And the bunnies moved the needle like you wouldn't believe. Like, in the span of the 2 hours that I was on the live stream, it like pushed Mike Keneally over 52%. And that's from organic growth of people listening and then going and voting or whatever. But guess what happens at the end of the day yesterday, just like 15, 20 minutes before the poll closes, and minutes before the poll closes, you see an infiltration of votes for Mike Minogue at an extraordinary rate, disproportionate to everything else. And Mike Minogue wins the poll. So at this point, I just want to say, I will not be participating in any of these anymore. I will never ask any of you to do them again. It's bullshit. It's cheating. And if you're willing to cheat on a stupid X poll, what else are you going to be doing in your campaign? And I just like this, it's not lost on me, but Kayla Churchill runs all of the Mike Minogue Facebook pages. Kayla Churchill is a huge Mike Minogue supporter. Like, these are the kinds of people that do what they do. So it is not a surprise to me that that's the kind of stuff. Hi. Hold on a second. Jeffrey is giving me a task. What are you doing?
He gave me two things. One thing is just, I don't even know how it's a joke. It's nothing even funny about it. It's just,
Okay, so those are the kind of people that are associated with the Mike Minogue campaign. Okay, so I don't really even know if I want to elaborate or say anymore, but if those are the people in your corner, like, absolutely not. So no, by default. I see how your people work. I see their politicking. Instead of talking about what they're good at and what they can do, they have to drag other people down, create fucking videos, do all of this weird shit. Like, I'm all set. Jeff says good morning, but he he just shared with me that when we were at the grocery store yesterday, we failed to get laundry detergent. I can't tell you the last time I ran out of laundry detergent. I feel like we had like a stockpile of it. And so we have to go and grab some. So we're going to take you on a field trip, because that's, of course, everything that's what happens. I was in the goddamn driveway ready to shut this off. We were ending this. So anyway, no more polls. Absolutely not. No more polls. You got us for 1, you got us for 2, you got us for 3, we got us for 4. No more polls. I'll run my own poll. But listen, you can't stop the bots. So you know what? I'll run a goddamn poll. Come to fucking March 14th on a Saturday and come in and take a poll of all of the people that are there and ask them who they're voting for. That's it. Mike Keneally, I don't know what you're doing on March 14th, but could you please come to my meet and greet and say hi to the besties? We need them to meet you. That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. Like, Jeff gave me one task. I'm doing it. I'm going. Wait, can Mike Keneally come to my meet and greet? He'd have to be cool, though. You can't talk politics. You just got to come and hang with the bunnies and do a song, a karaoke song. That's it. Wait, can you imagine? Like, if I promise to get 100 people in a room, is it worth it? That sounds crazy. We could never do that. Could we? Could we? You know what? It's very on brand for me. We went to, when we did the mom gang and we did bowling, one of our candidates I was friends with, he showed up. And it was all women at the mom gang, and he just showed up and he bowled with us. He bowled with us. It was funny, actually. But it wasn't like planned. He just showed up because he's a smart politician. So anyway, maybe Mike Keneally wants to know what's going on. We've got to go into the store. Do you want to come with? We got to go. Let me check some comments before we do this. Let's read some comments. Good morning, Erin. Kids don't go back to school till Wednesday. What? Lucky.
My mom used a coupon and we had laundry detergent for like 5 years. I wish she would start doing it again. We had a massive stockpile of laundry detergent, and it was seriously Julia's from college, right? Because everybody gave her some when she went to college, but I'm not kidding, like I don't know how or why, but she came home from college, and that's 2 years ago, with like 2 bags of pods. And then Jack, we thought Jack was going to live on campus. And so TT bought him laundry detergent. So we had that. And then I usually get the big, big things of laundry detergent. And we just ran, I don't know. I haven't had to buy laundry detergent in a long time. Everybody has to wear a name tag with their screen name, 100%. Some of you have nicknames in my head and in my phone. After the Facebook group is set up, we will know who everyone is. That is a really great point, and you're actually correct. Noodles Mama, your son spun out, hit a sign, and was in a ditch. Oh my gosh. Nightmare fuel. I'm so glad he's okay. Sticky Doll, I know you don't do Facebook, but the besties need a place to go post live, and that's where we're landing. Nobody has bad nicknames. Everybody has some people have good nicknames. I just want to let Miss Peachy Keen know that when I see her name on the screen, I think of Miss Peaches, which is Dave Portnoy's dog. If you don't follow Miss Peaches, you've got to. You make your own laundry detergent. That is a little too trad wife for me, and I consider myself to be slightly trad wife. All right, I'm reading some comments, but let's go inside. Thoughts and prayers for whoever is in the store, because it's 9:03 and I look like a hot mess. When Jeff came out to the car and was like, "Can you run out and just go to Walgreens and get it?" I literally had to touch and see if I had an actual bra on, which I do. So let's go inside. Behave. We're not in the best of outfits to be out in public, unfortunately. Look at these. We're in the store. Relax. Okay. Resisting the urge to shop. They have Valentine's Day things out. I love hearts. I think it goes back to the 80s. I had a bedroom set that had hearts on it, and there was a store in Boston. I don't know if anybody remembers it, but it was called Have a Heart. Does anybody, this is random, but would anybody remember that from the 80s? There was a store in Boston called Have a Heart. It was all heart things and stationary things. Also, I'm not in CVS and I didn't go to Walgreens. I went across the street to the dollar store. I am. I'm in Dollar Tree. And that's the problem. All of the Valentine's Day things. And it is problematic. Good morning. No, I don't need a bag.
Okay.
Thanks.
So good. Go on, see.
I don't need the receipt. I got you if you did.
I know, I got it. But thank you, that was.
Of course. All right, thanks. Have a good day. Have a good day. Hold on, stand by. Oh my God, look at all the heart things. Oh God. Okay. Well, I have to go buy laundry detergent and I'm not driving to Walmart right now. So I'm not going to Walgreens or CVS because it's going to be expensive. So I came to the Dollar Tree. They do like what is this? This says 5 loads. This is like $1.25. So I just grabbed 2 of those just for now, but we're obviously going to have to go and buy like the big thing that I get. But I'm going to Walmart for that because that's where it's the cheapest. But nothing for nothing. They are putting out heart stuff and I love heart stuff. I missed it in the chat. Had anybody ever gone to the store Have a Heart in Boston? I missed that. Nobody? I know TT. Walmart delivery is your new best friend. I've never done Walmart delivery. I've never done Peapod. And only one time I ever ordered, lady, let me back out first. Only one time have I ever ordered something and picked it up at Walmart. And it was Halloween candy. Because I had to pick it up really fast. And it's not for me. I want to be in the store. I want to, you know how I feel about things. Here's my biggest problem with Walmart delivery. I don't know, how do you find what you want? You have to go through, like, how do I find what I want on the website? Do you build a list? Like, I tried it one time and I'm like, so I've got to type in every item and then it pops up and then I find it. Will it stay there every time? Like, this seems very fucking complicated. Look at this lady walking in the middle of the road with an iced coffee. Not even a dog. Not even a dog. All right, we're getting to be home. So this is going to be done. I have a lot of things I have to do today. Many things. You got to go to the department section. I can't. I can't. I would rather just get in my car and drive there and walk around. You never know what you see that you want. I like to see things. I don't like online anything. Amazon got me during COVID, but I still prefer in-person everything. Yeah, the Walmart pickup was disastrous. No thanks. Oh, did I do a live when that was happening? I did do a live, Mr. Monks. Yes. We were waiting. We weren't sure. They forgot about us. I'm all set. I spend way more when I go inside. Delivery helps with the 50. I guess. Noodles, Mom, are glad your son is okay. All right, I'm going to go. Ben Rosa, we will try our best. The besties, we will activate. I'll start a Facebook group and then I'll come back and link it here. And that's it, besties. Thanks for listening. Thanks for following. Thanks for interacting. I have a lot of text messages I have to get to. Aaron Ashley's on replay. I know we're trying to not do more than a 2-hour live stream today. I gotta go. All right. Bye, besties. Have a really great day. It's Monday. It's the new year. Have a great day. Bye.